Hi everybody, Mrs. Rayburn here. In today's lesson, we are going to investigate texture. We are going to look for things around our house, outside, things in our house that have bumpy surfaces or interesting patterns texturally in how you feel them. And then we're going to use those objects to create what's called rubbings onto paper. So you're going to need some paper, you're going to need crayons, maybe colored pencil, chalk pastel, anything that you can use to make a mark. Regular pencil, charcoal could work. And we're going to use the paper and the drawing material to rub the surface on the paper and let the patterning from the texture come out and create a really interesting effect on your paper. After we collect as many textures and a whole bunch of different colors from all around your living area, then we are going to use those pieces of texture to cut up and create a collage. So the first step is we have to go out and we have to find the textures. Let's get started. This first rubbing is on a baking sheet in my kitchen with some red crayon. Next, I use some dark blue chalk pastel on concrete. This rubbing was on a rough piece of wood in my front yard. Sometimes finding small objects and gathering them under your paper can also be a good way to create unique textures. You can see I have a lot of colorful textures to choose from for my collage. To start the project, explore ideas by making a few small drawings of different things. These are called thumbnail drawings. My three ideas were a still life, a landscape, with a house, or a portrait. Whatever you decide to use, keep the design simple with big shapes and smooth lines. I think I am going to use my still life idea for my final collage. Now that I know what I want my final image or composition to be, I'm going to use an extra blank piece of paper, the same size as my final paper for my collage, to sketch out my design full size. I will use my sketch to decide what sizes and shapes I need to cut out of my textures for my collage. I'm using brown craft paper for my background, but you could use whatever color or type of paper that you want. As I am trying to choose colors and textures, I try to choose ones that are very different from one another for each part of the image, so that they will stand out. Thinking back, if I were to do this project again, I would use more colorful paper to collect and create my textures from the start so that there would be more variety and contrast in the different shapes that I cut out. Especially trying maybe some black paper with some white chalk on top or some white crayon could have created a really interesting effect. I found that a glue stick worked really well for this project, but you could also use a small amount of Elmer's white glue to stick the collage together. Now that I have all the parts cut out and attached to my paper for my collage, I'm coming back with some of the materials that I used to make the rubbing, like the chalk pastel, to add shadows and define some of the shapes a little bit more. And I'm also going to use some colored pencil, which I didn't use for my rubbings, but I think that it adds a lot of definition and some shading to the different parts of the image. And I like the detail that I can get with the colored pencil as well. Hi again. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed doing the lesson. It was a lot of fun looking for the textures, and I was surprised at how much I liked my finished product. It was really fun going back into it with the colored pencils and the crayons and the pastels again to give everything a little bit of shading and more decorating in my background. It sort of just made the whole piece a lot more fun. I hope you enjoyed doing it, and I can't wait to see what you make.